Hey, how? Oh, so here we are, guys, again. Today we want to talk about treason and death. We want to talk about the penalty that comes to those who commit treason against the people. And we must recognise that I was the poster boy for the Jewish Talmudic supremacy mob, and I'm talking about all of the national networks, the national media of Australia. Now, we're talking about 60 Minutes, which is one of the most prominent media current affair programs that airs stories that are very highly controversial. So that is the level of my case, and it's the level of where this circumstance and where this situation went. So it just wasn't just only 60 Minutes that my court case ventured onto, but it also ventured into the 7 and the 9 network, and even the federal ABC, which is it's the free federal channel that covers the national the national subjects that concern Australia and that concern Australians. And so when you consider all of the money, when you consider the hundreds and thousands of dollars that was spent on my case to deceive and to mislead the public, you really need to understand that, folks, that this was stolen money. This was stolen money for the Project Mockingbird. Okay, Project Mockingbird. I've spoken to you before about Project Mockingbird and how that that program has not finished. That program has not stopped. It's still going on. Basically, what it is, Project Mockingbird is it's a military warfare. It's military warfare psychology. So that's where all the money goes. It's a huge budget. It's come to my knowledge that all of this money that goes into NASA, there's something like $58 billion that is taken from the public purse in America. It seems to me as though this is a international purse. It's a international account that is spent on all countries, on this protocol, this Jewish protocol, to deceive and mislead the public. So it's an international affair. It's an international it's a international circumstance where money is used from the public purse to cover these military. And you can see on the screen on the left there, Black Hawk Down. All of these movies receive their budget from NASA. That's why NASA wants such an exorbitant amount of money. And so NASA is just it's just a political lobbying group that basically uses its funds and uses its money for psychological operations on the public. And so, look, we've got these cock-sucking politicians that are living luxury lives. It's your money, and it's your money that these politicians are spending and what these judges are using. And, it's just an offence. Come on, guys. It's an offence that this has been going on too long. We have to bring an end to these corrupt people who are living a corrupt lifestyle and who are using your funds, using your money to conduct this sort of shit that's going on. My name's Jeffrey Hunter, and I'm here to talk to you about things that really consider you as a patriot. And this is a report that is associated with the militia intelligence report with Mr. Chris Dorsey. And so basically, today I want to talk to you about the psychological operations that went down. So let's just understand that. Let's begin here. Okay, let's go to our first one, right? All right, so Quinoa. Do you know Quinoa? He was one of the psychological warfare specialists that ended up being caught as a pedophile, being caught creating, using his office, using his power to create certain scary situations for a specific school that was associated with the military with the military training camp nearby. And so so that's basically, this is what we're dealing with, folks. We're dealing with Jewish Talmudic supremacy. We're dealing with psychological warfare, and the problem is that all of this money and all of these projects are being brought into the public domain. And so we just need to understand that war is a scam. War is a scam. It always has been. All right. So moving on to a topic that is pretty close to the subject that I want to talk about, and that is, I want to talk to you about various people who have military clearance. They have intelligence clearance, where they are able to infiltrate into specific groups, specific religious organisations that have an interest in exposing government corruption. And this is a particular site which is called Hillstream Health Centre. Now, I'm really well acquainted with this person and with the gentleman that owns the land. It's just like everything is secret about this institute, about this, and it shouldn't be. Nothing should be secret. You won't find any photos of him on his website, and that's one of the things we want to know why. We want to know why in all of the pages of this website and of this certain so-called organisation which has infiltrated into the Adventist community. Why is it that there are no photos of this person that is controlling? It doesn't matter which one you go to, right? You can go to any page you want, any link, and you just won't find any photos at all. That's basically all it is, period. And so I guess what I want to say is that this gentleman was the person that was acquainted with my medical research association in Lismore. And I am convinced that this organisation and other similar organisations are fronts that are used by ASIO, that are used by military psychological warfare specialists to basically to monitor and to keep an ear on those who are anti-government. And so we can find, well, there's the address there, all right? So we can just go to the address, all right, 493 the Head Road. All right, let's see if we can find him. What a beautiful world we live in, eh? Yeah, that's the world we live in, folks. Well, that's what they tell us anyway. But I specifically want to hone in on this place where he lives. Okay, so we're going to go into Australia, and we're going to go into Boona. That's where the institution is. So the Boona is the institution. Boona is associated here. Let's have a look. Okay, so we want to go to Boona, B-O-N-A-H. Okay, Boona, Queensland, Australia. That's me. All right, let's go there and have a look. Okay. All right, so this is Boona. Wow. Okay. That's Boona. Yeah. So you can, it's not far from Toowoomba. It's in Queensland. Okay, so you can, I've actually driven here before, and you come through Bow Desert, and you can see Burleigh Heads, Coolangatta. I'm going to talk to you about a woman who was also an Adventist, another Adventist con, who lives in Burleigh Heads, and who tried to frame me with the CIB police, and that's a huge one. That's a huge story. But you can see this is where I come from. I'm a Tugun boy. This is where I grew up here as a young boy. But yeah, if you want to access Boona, you need to come through Bow Desert and directly out here. So yeah, this is Boona. It's quite a isolated area. As it says there, Boona is both a town and a locality of the Scenic region in southern East Queensland. Okay, so that's what we see there. I want to look for Head Road, 143. Let's just go to Head Road, yeah? So we'll go to Head Road, Head Road, Boona. All right, Queensland, Australia. Okay, fantastic. All right, so here we are, and there it is, Hillstream Health Centre. Now, interesting enough, you know, I had spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in setting up a fund, setting up a certain research project, and it was this gentleman who is paid by ASIO. He's paid by the government, and you can just see the amount of property that he's got here. You can see the amount the amount of buildings that are on the property, and so you know, what is wrong with this guy? That's your question, right? What is wrong with this guy? Well, the fact is that this guy was used by the government to create a bad circumstance, a bad situation for me and my family in the town of Lismore, and he was associated with the loss of my medical license. So he was the team that was putting together all of the intel that the government needed to be able to bring an end to the research that we were doing. And so the research that we were doing is specifically related to Lyme's disease. It's specifically related to identifying, using live blood cell microscopy, using fluorescent stain. And it was this jerk off that that somehow conned me into giving him all of the specifics and the research. I made him the director of the research association, and he virtually brought the entire research institute into disarray through his means of psychological. And that's, when I started to look into this guy, what I found was that he had experience. His previous employment was with the Australian Air Force. Now, I don't know whether you understand about the Australian Air Force, but the Australian Air Force are the trusted intelligence operations. That's where all intelligence operations come from. Okay, military intelligence operations are either controlled by the Air Force, well, no, primarily it's naval. Primarily, most of the intelligence operations come through the naval department. But we must understand that this guy had a presence in the military even before he entered Adventism, and so that in effect helps us to realise the seriousness of what I'm talking about. Now, I promised you that I would come and I would deliver this information. I promised that I would expose these people for who they are. And do I want to say any more? Do I need to say any more about... no, I don't need to say anything here. I don't need to say anything there. I don't need to say anything here. I'm just going to leave it there, okay? All you need to know is that we have a serious issue. We have a serious contention within the Seventh-day Adventist Church and the so-called people that are involved, that have involved themselves, in military operations against public people, against innocent public people. Okay, so that basically finishes the transmission. Until next time, ciao.